What is it with boobs? I wasn't breastfed, and I have the theory, the hypothesis, the conjecture that this is why boobs aren't a primary sexual stimulus to me. I'm not bonded. No earliest associations. Lovely sometimes, but not primarily sexual. Have I, have I said too much? Maybe it's cultural, bosoms. In pre-bikini days, bosoms were hidden. They were hidden fruit, sexualized at puberty, more for boys than girls, generally, maybe with lesbians. Gays like wieners, so there's that. When my son was 12, I said, if I had boobs, all I'd do is play with them. He got the joke, but he said, no, because you'd be used to them. I said, yeah, you're right. He was 12. Well, bosoms, like ankles, or necks, or feet, body parts. Now we see labia, immodest. To me, the floating ribs are, well, I never use the word, but sexy. I notice lips. Lipstick is a distortion, and maybe quirky, a part of the nose. It's not sexy, but intimate. And speaking of noses, it occurred to me maybe last year to notice that inside the nostril, if I can be so graphic, at the tip, inside, there's a kind of shelf. Everyone has them too. And I wondered, what is that for? Why do humans, and maybe no other animals, why do we need a shelf, too, inside the end of the nose? Storage? Yick. My instant answer was that it has to do with airflow. There's a lung full of air expelled with each breath, and the opening of the nostril is smaller because of this ledge, like a thumb over a hose nozzle. It directs airflow downward. I envision it as creating a turbulence, disturbing an otherwise laminar flow. And then, too, it shapes the nostril, long or flat or small or large. It is a subtle but important aspect of natural beauty. Apes don't have a tip of the nose. They say that it's eyes that even newborn babies track, but maybe it's nostrils. I'm kidding. And I was thinking that for more than 20 years, an entire generation, Gen Z, born and raised in the church of climatology, Scientology, phrenology, iridology, ufology. The ology means it's true, and it's really true if it's capitalized. So the kids received Gore's revelation full of passionate intensity, and here I would build up an image of a zombie host, self-mutilating as a blood sacrament to, yes, well, to the polymastic, multi-breasted goddess, Diana of the Ephesians, but also as a sacrament to thirsty Baal and voracious Moloch. I'd build that image up. But why bother? Pagans have the easiest gods. Whether the goddess has many breasts or many testicles, they are to be added or removed as thou wilt, a function of fashion and membership to a clique, typical, a genre of young adult fiction. And here, does Moloch, here, the god of abortion, have a tip of the nose? Get in my belly! Which brings to mind good old Tom Beattie. Tom Beattie. Media reported as the pregnant man. Step right up, folks. Tom was the Dylan Mulvaney of his time, or her time. I'm not sure to which Tom or Dylan the pronoun refers. They're both blips, infinitely less than mugwumps or locofocos. What, after all, is news? Remember the Chinese spy balloons? The train wreck in Palestine? The trans-murdered Christian children in Nashville? Remember? No. That's what news is. Something to forget. Next. But that Tom Beattie was a trailblazer, except time has passed her by. We're told now, all of us, even Tom, that women are people who produce eggs, or a uterus. So poor Tom, whom only I remember, then spermless Mad Tom is not a man. By woke definition, that's very hurtful and non-inclusive. Our current critical gender theorists all hating on poor old Mad Tom, outdated, outre, déclassé. It's embarrassing, really, his traitorous uterus reproducing like that. Old fogey's probably past menopause by now. Anyway, shit. It's the logic, the consistency that gets me, the illogic, the inconsistency. How can we, anyone, survive in a world like that? In order to survive, you first have to be born. We all seem to be against birth itself when we expect it to be men who give birth. I, for one, am not up to it. The times, they are a-changing. Climate, gender, sex, identity. I guess it has to do with fluidity. Whether it's climate change, changing Arctic Atlantic currents, or whether it's how we feel about our boobs and our nuts.